welcome back to the channel. When I said I had a video lined up for you, a feature, I meant it. It was an EK that was at the event we were at earlier today. And the purpose of this video, besides it being a feature, is like, I want to just strictly say it, built, not bought. And hate on it if you want, but I love the car. This car gets so much, he gets hit up. We were literally just parked here and he got asked twice if the car was for sale. And at the local car scene event, people were just all over it. So let's get into today's video, you guys. All right guys, so today's special feature is Herman's Ek9. And when I say built, not bought, it's exactly what he built from literally the ground up. So Herman, Ek9, you basically restored the car, built it from the ground up.
Yeah.
What year Ek is it?
So this is actually a 97 Civic.
Okay.
Which I ended up doing a front end conversion on it. I always like the newer, sleeker
the pointy headlights.
Front end with the kind of more modern look to it. I guess you're either on the 99 2000 side or the 96 to 98, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I found myself on that side of the camp. But when I got the car, it was it used to be a track car pretty much.
Okay.
The car was gutted.
Yeah.
It was bare bones. It was pretty rough.
Okay.
And but the key components were, it was an EK hatch, and it had the coveted Type R B16B motor.
Nice.
So that was all I needed to get started.
Okay.
And from there, I just used that as a foundation to build this car up.
Okay.
So the plan was to have probably, I want to say, the cleanest example of a Ek9 that you'll ever see. And that I wanted to be full OEM plus.
Oh, everything red label.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I wanted it to be like what it would be like to get into a brand new Ek9 and experience that car as it is in its stock, you know, in the stock form, rather than all modified and tweaked and changed and everything like that. So the goal was to try to keep it as close as possible to OEM, but you know, kind of doing a little bit of improvements here and there, just kind of tweak it a little bit.
Okay. So originally, what was the color of the car when you got it?
The car was originally the silver color.
Okay.
It was, again, the paint was rough.
Yeah.
The exterior was rough. It was a track car. It was really a track car.
It was literally just beat.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was when I got it, literally within a week, I started stripping it down to the bare shell. Removed everything, pulled everything out down to the suspension, and then started from the ground up with a bare shell. Sent it off to get painted, and everything was repainted. The engine bay, the door jambs, the exterior, everything's, you know, the original OEM Ek9 yellow.
Okay, nice. So a lot of guys might not know, the 96 to 98 front end, it's a bubble headlight. And a 99 2000, you pretty much change the fenders, hood, headlights, and the bumper. Yeah. And that's, you know, back then you could buy a whole front clip for $700.
Yeah.
Nowadays you can probably maybe find the headlights for that same price.
Yeah.
And I think what actual JDM fenders are maybe $250, $300.
Yeah, yeah. So it was definitely a mission finding all the correct parts, OEM parts. Yeah, you're right. Like the headlights alone, I think they were like $900 just for the headlights.
Okay.
But you know, they're original OEM Honda Stanley headlights, and that's what I wanted. Like all the little details details that a lot of people might not notice. Yeah. I wanted to put that into the cars.
Okay. Yeah, I always feel like the smallest little details always makes the biggest impact on any build. Yeah. A lot of guys like, oh dang, you changed this or changed that, and people are like, and you, as an owner, you're like, damn, I actually noticed. Yeah. And I always feel like that. So. Of all colors, I know CTRs come in white, which is like the most popular. Yeah. Black is like kind of rare, and I know the Phoenix yellow. Wasn't there a red too?
I believe there was a red and a silver as well. Okay. For the Ek9.
Okay.
I get, people ask all the time about the yellow, but the yellow I believe only came in the 99 2000.
Okay.
And it was in smaller quantities.
Yeah.
Which is why you're going to see more of the white.
Okay.
The EK9 white, you'll see that all day long, everywhere. But the yellow, it's a color that they didn't really produce as many because it was just in the 99 2000.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so everything I want to assume is OEM. You either bought brand new or used. What did the lip cost you, just off the back?
So yeah, the lip. Those are hard to find.
Yeah,
those are hard to find. The lip alone, I think I ended up finding a guy. It was pretty rough. I think it had about maybe 3 or 4 layers of paint.
Oh wow!
I ended up stripping it down to the bare, base color, and then going from there. But it was about, I think, just the lip alone was about $500.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're hard to find.
Okay. And then, so I mean, anything else aero-wise is pretty much OEM Type R, what you would see in a book or a catalog.
Yeah. So again, that was I tried not to stray too much from the OEM style. So I wanted to maintain that look. So when I like the picturesque catalog, photo. When you look at it, it's like that's it right there.
Yeah, this is exactly what you would see in a picture. It's just yellow Type R front, the front emblem, license plate, and then white 5-lug wheels.
Yeah.
So did you do the conversion with the 5-lug?
Yes. So I did the conversion on the 5-lug. Again, the suspension was entirely done. So every single bushing, every single component that has to do with the suspension, all redone, refurbished, repowder coated. All the components were taken apart down to individual parts. And then reassembled with all new hardware. To the right specs and everything, and put back together. New rotors, everything's brand new. New stainless lines for the brakes, rotors, brake calipers, pads. The wheels, the tires. Pretty much nothing was left untouched on the car. So it really was, down to the shell.
Yeah, and there's not very many car builders nowadays that will literally go down to every single bolt, any part. I mean, some guys literally search high and low for years just to find that one part. So that's pretty dope. I mean, that's what I've been doing with my EGs. Like, I've searched high and low for certain moldings, certain clips, and just like whether a friend had it or I just came across it online or on eBay, it's like, I need that, I'm gonna pay the price for it. So that's dope, man. What is your tire setup currently?
So I'm running the Yokohama Advance.
True to Japan.
Yeah. These are actually like OEM style wheels. So these are from Circuit Performance. The reason that I went with these over the OEM ones was because I like the way that they fill in the gap a little bit more on the fenders. So I've gotten asked that. I got asked that today. And there were people were like, hey, how come I didn't know that the OEM fit like that? And I was like, they're not OEM.
Oh, wow.
So that's another kind of aspect that the reason that I wanted that offset is to fill in the fender gap a little bit better. And they're actually a little bit wider as well. So with the with the width and the offset, it has a little bit more traction on the tires. Tires a little bit wider.
Nice. Yeah, they look pretty meaty. And I've always, like I said, Advans, or most of you guys, if you don't know, I feel like a lot of companies in Japan, they rock Advans like to the hardest, which is super dope. One thing I want to pick out for you guys to see, the stickers on the windshield. What is the middle sticker and the circular clock?
So these are like the registration stickers that they use. Some of these are like the inspections that they do. I think it's like a yearly maintenance. And just the registration. On the back window, there's also a parking permit that's attached on the back. So again, I try to keep it authentic to the JDM style with all the correct little details and stuff. I think little details really bring the car together. That most people don't care about or overlook, or but I think it's just adds that authenticity and feel to it.
Because I remember I had the clock. I think it's like a maintenance sticker, if I'm correct. And you can find it on eBay for $25-30. So if you guys are looking to get those stickers, you can easily look it up online. JDM registration or maintenance. And the parking permit you can find all day. I remember back in the day, I got those same 2 stickers and the permit for like $50. and I had to slap it on. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, where'd you get that?" A lot of people would ask, "Is that a Japanese window?" I was like, "No, I just found the maintenance sticker and slapped it on." Because you got to put the sticker on the inside of the window, not on the outside, like most stickers typically are. So Japan's always like a step ahead of us with that kind of thing. The fenders, are they the JDM fenders as well?
Yeah. So the fenders, moldings, everything is correct. Everything's JDM. Again, everything had to be kind of correct down to the detail.
Okay.
So I went through and I ended up sourcing a lot of parts from Japan, which, I think that's what took the longest in my build, was sourcing and tracking down some of the parts that were pretty difficult to find that were missing, components or things like that are, right-hand drive specific.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult to find. Luckily, there's, a few importers. I think JDM Ohio took a lot of my money, but they were able to supply a lot of hard to find stuff that I was missing, little bits and pieces, just to bring it all together. But eBay, importers that are out there, definitely a lot of driving, a lot of meeting up, trying to find these parts and sourcing it. But that's, I think, part of the adventure, right? Is sourcing everything, bringing it all together and making it happen.
Yeah. Okay. So with rare parts, what was the top 3 hardest parts for you to source?
Ooh, let's see. Okay, so at the time, there was so when I did the restoration on the car, I wanted to bring it back all to OEM. It had some aftermarket wiring in the harnesses for the engine bay and things like that. So that was actually probably one of the hardest things, is finding all the correct harnesses, because they had to be the right year. It had to have like the right features. Like this one's, it has every single option. So it's got the AC, it's got the power steering, it's got the ABS. The ABS isn't currently installed, but I do have the complete setup as well with all the correct lines and everything like that. But the wiring harnesses were actually pretty hard to find. I ended up, JDM Ohio eventually was able to get a full set, and so I ended up buying the entire wiring for a car.
Oh, wow.
For a Type R RX 99 2000, and that was probably like one of the hardest biggest buys, because it just took a while for it to come up, right? The parts are out there, but it's a matter of like, when they come up, you got to jump on it, right? Or else you miss out, and now you got to wait, right? So that was probably the biggest challenge, is getting everything to match to the correct year, correct specs, and to match the ECU, to match the OBD, to A to B, like, and so that was like a kind of trouble finding all those parts.
Yeah, I can only imagine, just like the headache of, like, I know for most of us too, you find a part on eBay and you got to bid on it. And if you, like, there's guys last minute, they'll bid like $20 higher than you, and you're like, I just lost on a part that I've been literally waiting weeks to get.
It was a lot of that, a lot of finding, the correct parts and everything like that. But everything. When I got the car, it was stripped down. It was a track car, so it was missing a lot. The entire interior was pretty much gone.
Oh wow!
So literally, like, everything I had to source. The seats were probably one of the biggest purchases, but I wanted it like the authentic OEM Recaros. Like, they're iconic, and when you see them and you know them, like, that really stands out. So that was kind of hard to find, but eventually I found a super clean set, and I'm super happy with them.
Nice. So let's take a look in the back. So you have the Type R front end. The side skirts are same as OEM on a regular EK, but did you go out of your way to get the actual CTR side skirts? Just these are painted to
No,
match?
these are EK9 ones. I actually ended up finding a guy that had the correct ones. The ones that were on there before were damaged.
Okay.
But I found a guy that had them.
Yeah.
It was off a white EK9.
Okay.
And then I just ended up repainting them, the color to match the car, and go with that.
Okay. Nice. So I'm looking. That's a CTR muffler too?
Yes. So the entire exhaust system is stock OEM EK9. So all the way down from the headers to the exhaust.
Okay.
Full Type R.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I see were you in the Marines?
Yeah, Marine Corps.
Thank you for your service. My dad also served. So there's a lot of guys that are in the military they can bring their cars from Japan. So if you see like a Skyline, a Chaser, a Mark II, or EK9, a lot of times these guys bring them back for like, you know, a couple $1,000s, and you wonder why. How? Don't worry about it. The cars are cheap out there, but it does cost money to bring them back.
Yeah.
So suspension wise, what are you running as for coilovers and any other like hard parts for suspension?
So suspension wise, that's kind of where I strayed a little bit from the full OEM.
Okay.
I ended up going with BC coilovers all around. I just wanted something that was a little bit more adjustable because I did want to lower it a little bit, just kind of give it a little bit better stance on it.
Yeah.
On the rear, I'm running the white line rear sway bar.
I think I saw a subframe.
Yeah.
Okay, is it an ASR?
No, it's from Whiteline.
Oh, okay, it looks almost similar to the Progress one.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit different. So on the rear sway bar, I wanted something that was a little bit more close to OEM. Again, kind of subtle. Whiteline sells their stuff with the gray powder coat, so it stands out a little bit more.
Okay.
I actually ended up going through and repowder coating it a black, so it just kind of blends in with the car.
Okay.
Again, the whole intention was to kind of keep it very mild, close to OEM looking, but with a little bit of upgrades to kind of improve the performance.
Okay, nice. I love that the back, all the windows tinted are just the back windows.
So the EK9s, they come, most people think that they only came with the rear privacy windows in the rear, or only came with privacy windows, but actually the base race EK9 came with no tints, or I should say privacy glass at all. But this one does have the back three windows tinted.
Yeah, because I think most cars have the amber tinted windows.
Yeah,
and those are hard to find now. I mean, ICB and H Motors, you could get the rear hatch, quarter panels, the side windows, and the front windshield for an affordable price. Now you could only barely even find the hatch.
Yeah.
Some guys used to go as far as getting the tint to match, just to say they had JDM windows.
Yeah.
Okay. So also, this car's right-hand drive. So tell us a little bit about the car being right-hand drive. So it was a track car. Did you convert it from left-hand drive to right-hand drive?
So it is. I did convert it right-hand drive. When I took the car down to the show, I always, I grew up with these cars, in my teenage years, and I always, idolized the EK9 Type R. We never got it here.
Yeah.
And it's just a very iconic car. And so when I built this thing, I wanted to go all out. So that I took the opportunity to convert it. It's got all OEM parts everywhere, so all the correct parts, everything was put back together correctly with all the correct wiring harnesses, all the correct components, AC and everything, airbags, the OEM steering wheel, everything like that. So everything's there, everything works on the car, and yeah.
Because I remember, years ago, in the early 2000s, right-hand drive, everyone and their mom had them. And a lot of times you had guys that would either cut the whole front nose, or they'd be really meticulous and cut the actual firewall and then switch it over.
Yeah. And
then all you gotta do is just get a right-hand drive subframe, or a subframe or the steering rack.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope. Because originally when we met, I was just in awe of it. I was coming home, and I saw the car at the gas station. Like, dude, I gotta go over and get clips of this car. And the car's jaw dropping. The yellow just pops so well with the white wheels, and the rest of the car just flows. So let's go into the interior, because he said he spent some money on the seats. So interior wise, you said everything is OEM to spec. So
yes,
we have the Recaro seats, and we got the Type R steering wheel. We have let me let you go into depth about it. So tell me everything that was done.
So I tried to find a super clean steering wheel, but it's got the OEM EK9 steering wheel. It's got the gauge cluster. It's got the climate control with the carbon fiber pattern on it. Those are pretty neat, pretty hard to find. It's got the radio delete. I wanted to kind of keep it true to its racing flagship. It's got the OEM. Everything's correct down to the pedals. The pedals are also the OEM EK9 RX pedals.
Oh, these are really hard to find nowadays. I know some guys, they can actually buy the pedals. You can just rivet it to your.
Yeah. So some of them are still available. They're just, I think the hardest one to find. They still make the clutch and the brake, but the accelerator one is the one they no longer make, and it's pretty hard to find.
Okay.
But it's got the brand new OEM shift knob, shift boot. It's got the red Ek9 floor mats, and then to add kind of to the authenticity of the JDM, I even added a ETC card reader. So that's something that people always kind of ask about.
Yeah.
But it's actually right there by the mirror controls, and ETC is electronic toll charging.
That's sick. So they use that really in Japan mainly, right?
Yeah. So instead of their like here we can do direct toll roads and they'll bill you, right? But in Japan, you can actually put your credit card in that, and as you go through the toll, it'll charge your credit card.
That's cool.
So it'll go direct to that. What's kind of neat is that when you start it up, it actually makes a sound and everything like that, and it talks in Japanese. People always ask what the heck that is.
That's cool.
But it's super cool.
Yeah,
super
we'll definitely have to get a clip of that. So literally everything is CTR seats, steering wheel, cluster, door panels. Literally every square inch. You said even the carpet?
Yeah, everything.
And then the back seats,
Yes.
Are they the same? Are they I know they're usually black with red stitching, if I'm correct? Or...
Yeah, so these are OEM Ek9 seats.
Wow, those are really nice.
Yeah.
So the real deal Ek9 seats.
Yeah.
Dang. So what did you pay for the Type R seats as a pair?
For the seats alone, I think it was somewhere about $3,500.
Holy.
Just for the seats. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because the Ek9, I know the rails are very different from the DC2.
Yeah, so that was $3,500 without the rails.
What? Dude, that's crazy.
The rails alone, the rails on top of that were like another $500 or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I know these are probably still available, but they actually sell the block offs. But I think they're more for left-hand drive. But I saw that, and that looks still brand new.
Yeah, so again, when I went through the car, I did everything brand new. So it's got brand new door seals, brand new trims, brand new gaskets.
Oh my God.
The roof has got brand new seals as well. Everything that is rubber, everything that wears, I went through and refurbished it, got new parts, the little bumpers, screws and things like that.
Yeah.
Everything was replaced, brand new. This is brand new as well. You can still find those straight from Japan.
Okay.
From Honda.
Nice. One thing I noticed is you actually have the Japanese, I forget what the stickers are on the door jambs too.
Yeah. So again, I think it's attention to detail. Went down to like all the little decals, the correct door decals, the correct under the hood, the correct everything that's available and is supposed to be there. Yeah, everything is where it's supposed to be.
That's dope, man. I love that, because I know through ICB, if you guys are very familiar with ICB Motorsport, you can probably still get majority of the rare Japanese decals that go on the chassis. Like I know they sell the gas tank one, some of the ones on the door sill, and I think the ones under the hood, those are under the hood, they're very hard to find too.
Yeah. So yeah, the same thing. I got the gas tank, the gas lid one. I got the under the hood stuff. Yeah, I went to that level of detail, and doing a lot of research, and I think that's pretty rewarding in itself, is finding out a lot about that where most people don't even dive into or care much about. I like really knowing the car inside out, and like putting it all together and to where it's not even noticeable because it just looks right. Yeah.
Pause really quick. How did that I just saw the lights coming down. Like, oh, he got pulled over. So, true to heart, B16B. Wow. It is this is authentic as it gets. As you guys can see, like a lot of these bolts are all zinc coated. And there's nothing really aftermarket here that I wouldn't be able to notice. I mean, maybe, the battery looks, is that actually from Japan? The battery has Japanese writing on it. Like, that's super JDM. And then I know these covers are pretty penny.
Yeah. So that was a rare, the kind of optional, again, JDM only part. We never got those here in the States. Okay. On any of the cars. So yeah, that was from overseas.
Wow. Okay. So engine plant. If you guys aren't familiar with, there's B16A, B16A2. But in the Civic Type R's, they have it's a B16B.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the B16B.
So what is the base B16B like horsepower it have? Like one?
You know, honestly, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It's full. It's a stock. Everything's stock on it. So when I went through, I took the motor apart. Not down to the internals, but I went through and I refreshed it. So did all the seals. And every type of seal that was on there, I went through and did it. Did the oil pump, water pump, sensors, thermostat, all that stuff, belts. So everything was refurbished. Nothing was really left untouched on there. And I just really wanted it to be a car that would last another 20 years without any problems. And so that's kind of the goal when I went through the car. Like you said, most parts on here, the goal was to keep it OEM. So there really isn't too many aftermarket parts. Everything on here that I could find at OEM is OEM. It's got the AC, power steering, all the components. You know, went with the OEM style mounts for the engine, but yeah, everything was gone through.
Yeah, it looks like what you would see on a catalog of a picture of a CTR is what you would see in person. I love it. Like I think the only thing aftermarket are the freaking the hood props. Yeah. And though I think those are made by Teen, right?
No, so they're Teen style, but they want again. It was kind of sticking with the theme, kind of keeping it, you know.
Yeah, I love it, man. If you guys didn't know too, on a lot of Japanese cars, they have this blue badge that basically, you know, typically has the VIN. It'll say, you know, EK9, DC2, EG6. So that's another rare part. Finding one in good condition is super hard to find. But man, I love that it's just it has that OEM feel, but it's just like everything you said you've replaced. Yeah. And I want to say a lot of guys would not be willing to spend the amount of time searching on eBay, through Honda, through overseas in Japan, just to make this car complete. And you know, I applaud you for that, because it takes a lot of time, patience, and money just to, you know, basically build your own version of an actual CTR. Yeah, like that's super dope. Yeah. People can say, "Oh, it's not real deal." It's like, okay, well, you go ahead and do it. Let me know how much it costs. That's dope. To me, these are the kind of things I enjoy for actual Honda builders, like the guys that go above and beyond to make a car period correct. And this literally is, it couldn't get any more period correct than this, rather than getting an actual one. But you get a car from Japan, it's gonna have rust, it's gonna have parts you probably won't be able to find. Yeah. And you were able to find and source those parts. Yeah. So that's really dope, man. Yeah. Anything else you want to tell us about the car? Any shout outs you want to do? Like any future plans? I mean, I don't think you probably would change anything else to the car. But do you want to do any shout outs to anybody before we finish the video here?
Yeah, just to my wife for putting up with my builds. It was a big project, took some time. But future plans for it. I think if I don't sell the car anytime soon, I might get bored of it and maybe go the spoon route and
sick.
Doing full spoon wrap, full spoon components, and going that route. But
that'd be nice.
I don't want to get to that point, but
you keep telling yourself no, don't do it.
Yeah.
'Cause I think going down that is like a whole nother rabbit hole, because man, like Spoon, don't get me wrong, Spoon, I love Spoon. I did the same thing on my EG before, and it is just probably as pricey, if not more, as to doing this complete build.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Nice, man.
I agree.
Also, if you guys want to follow him on Instagram, he goes by righthanddrive.ek9. And if you're in SoCal, you will definitely see his car on. I spotted the car once driving down the main road, and I was like, dude, I called my buddy, like, dude, there's an EK9 in Temecula, and Mark, him too, like, dude, there's some guy with a yellow EK9. And my other buddy told us, dude, I don't know who he is, but I'm gonna find him. And you know, sure as hell, popped over here and found you. Yeah. But you know, I just want to say, man, thanks for taking time out of your day. I know we had to reschedule like twice just to do the feature, but we were able to do the video in the evening on a Sunday. I know it's kind of windy, but it is getting cold. But again, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to meet with us to do the feature on the car. You guys, if you like what you saw, hit subscribe, like, drop the comments, let us know what you guys think. Again, thank you again, Herman, for meeting up, man.
Yeah, thanks,
I really appreciate it. And we'll definitely be keeping up with you. You know, we always go to a lot of events, so you'll see him in most of our videos if we're going to any kind of meets or shows. So
absolutely.
We'll see you guys later.
Thanks.
Time for some rollers.